in the fall of 2022, where I landed in a vibrant, artsy subdivision near Barton Springs, full of food trucks, live music vibes, and folks just trying to live their best lives. I'd poured my heart into a custom pearl white Tesla Model Y, my quiet sanctuary on wheels, perfect for those winding hill country drives. It never blared tunes, never idled noisily at midnight, and I kept it under 10 miles per hour in our gated community, respecting the chill atmosphere. But man, did it ignite some deep-seated envy in our HOA head honcho, Karen. She eyed it like it was a personal affront to her minivan monarchy. It all began with a nastygram slapped on my windshield during a crisp October afternoon. Your Galtech eyesore is poisoning our harmonious haven, frightening the wildlife, and clashing with our family-friendly ethos. Dispose of it within 7 days or brace for repercussions. I had a good laugh, snapped a photo for my suburban shenanigans scrapbook, and brushed it off as classic overreach. The HOA guidelines said nothing about electric cars or aesthetics. And if speed was the issue, Karen was the one barreling through at 40 miles per hour in her oversized truck, swerving around cyclists. As weeks slipped by, her stares turned into whispers at block parties, painting me as the villain disrupting our Texan tranquility. I never imagined her grudge would erupt into outright destruction. But life's full of those gut-punch surprises that test what we're made of. Right. Cut to a misty morning 8 days later. I wander out with my breakfast smoothie, humming along to some local indie playlist. And bam! My world tilts. My Tesla ravaged in the driveway. Not a simple dent, but total mayhem. Panels bashed in with what looked like a tire iron. Touchscreen shattered. Battery compartment tampered with. And wheels gouged deep. I froze, the hurt washing over me like a sudden Texas thunderstorm. Memories of road trips and quiet commutes flashing by. A kind neighbor, Maria, the one with the adorable rescue pup, edged over and confided, "I spotted Karen and her pool maintenance guy lurking by your spot around 11 at night." Seemed off, but I didn't want to meddle. Off Maria, that screamed for a call to the authorities, yet, instead of losing it, a calm resolve bubbled up, and I actually smiled through the sting. See, I'd set up those hidden Nest cameras along my eaves after some mailbox mischief in the area. Back indoors, I pulled up the feed, and there she was, Karen, in her loud floral leggings, ranting about silent speed traps while hammering away like a villain in a thriller flick. Her sidekick fumbled with tools, clearly reluctant. I hit pause, took a steadying breath, and dialed my old law school pal. Karen aimed to erase my pride and joy. Well, sweetheart, she'd just financed its glow-up, turning her spite into my silver lining. As I reviewed the clip, waves of frustration mixed with a weird pity. We've all dealt with that one neighbor who lets power go to their head. But this, it cut deep, reminding me how fragile our sense of home can be when jealousy calls the shots. The backlash hit like a heat wave, raw and relentless, but oh so rewarding in its justice. I turned over the evidence to the police, precise timestamps, the damning video, Maria's eventual account framing off as outright illegal, plus my Tesla's data logs proving 0 infractions. The officer screening it chuckled dryly. She's not bothering with stealth, no hood, no cover. Just Karen in her patterned robe, swinging that iron like it's barbecue season on a spaceship. The HOA board fired off a stiff apology note, naturally sans Karen's signature. She was busy playing the martyr when law enforcement arrived. That vehicle was a lurking danger, she yelped. It lures people into recklessness, jeopardizing our 8 nearby parks, as if my whisper-quiet EV was a siren call to chaos. Like faulting a coffee maker for a caffeine crash. She brandished the HOA manual like a shield. But I'd pored over it thrice for good measure. No bans on eco-friendly rides. Only fluffy talk of fostering unity. I shot the board an email with underlined excerpts, cheekily titled, Karen's Imaginary Edicts, annotated for clarity. By lawsuit time in civil court, my dossier was ironclad: destruction of property, unauthorized entry, badgering, libel from her mass messages, dubbing me a careless gadget guru menacing the masses, and the heartache that kept me up nights. My attorney was thrilled. Karen arrived alone with a notepad and sour vibes, toting fuzzy snapshots of my car, neatly parked. The judge inquired, "Do you confess to harming the plaintiff's asset?" she snapped. I stepped up where the HOA faltered for seasons, the ensuing quiet, pure vindication. A balm for every overlooked slight in community living. The final hearing dawned, and Karen sauntered in with the same bravado she'd wielded that fateful night, as if expecting a pat on the back for her vigilance. I perched there, composed as a live oak, nursing courtroom water that felt like fine wine I'd soon invoice her for. My lawyer launched with a visual feast. Opening image. A sharp capture of Karen mid-thrust with the tire iron. Expression wild, like a frenzied home renovation star. Murmurs rippled. Karen barked. "Out of bounds," judge retorted. "It's your message, ma'am." Next. The texts. Juicy dispatches to the whole group, branding me a hazardous hotshot and a disgrace to decent drivers. All on sleek prints for emphasis. Her defense, a tirade. That electric menace imperils every youngster in 4 miles. I couldn't stand by, judge, queried coolly. "So you dismantled it." "I diffused it," she declared earnestly, prompting even the stenographer to pause in disbelief. My spotlight shone with truths, vehicle metrics showing speeds capped at 10 miles per hour locally, silence readings softer than a whisper, and affirmations from 7 neighbors attesting to its harmless hum. Closings done. The judge exhaled. This ranks among the oddest disputes I've presided over. Yet the facts dominate. Karen, you're accountable for complete reparations, $75,000 for the vehicle's worth with enhancements, plus $12,000 in costs and a $4,000 levy for distress. Her shock, tangible. Like a plot reversal in our own Austen drama. It transcended funds. It was reclaiming dignity after someone tried to shatter your slice of happiness. 3 months onward. My replacement Tesla Model Y arrived, identical pearl white sheen, but fancied up with adaptive cruise, ambient lighting, and a whimsical dashboard engraving, "Cheers to Karen." Satisfying, absolutely. In that quiet, triumphant way, Karen plunged into monetary mayhem, coughing up $91,000 overall, meant offloading her fancy sedan, tapping retirement funds, and murmurs of credit woes. Word spread. Her spouse ditched the HOA role in shame. Her pool guy vanished. And her tabby cat grew anxious fur patches from the tension. I glided past at a leisurely 8 miles per hour one balmy evening. Tunes low with some Austin folk strumming gently, she halted mid-gardening. Sprinkler, forgotten. Gazing like I'd aced a game, she bungled. At the subsequent HOA assembly, she pitched her actions as earnest guardianship against intrusions. But no ditch, Maria toted treats. And they ousted her unanimously, 9-0. One member proposing her exile for undermining serenity. For my part, I fortified with advanced sensors, and Karen skirts my lot like it's forbidden territory. Dodging glances as if I'm a legend on wheels. I mounted her initial missive in my study, paired with the video freeze frame and settlement slip. Often, I linger in the garage, soaking in the solace, pondering how this wasn't merely a vehicle victory. It echoed that wielding a title like HOA leader doesn't grant tyranny, and smashing another's haven over fabricated gripes might cost you dearly. Think she got her due? Share below. Like if it resonated. And subscribe for more tales of triumph. See you soon.